with all due respect, Apple sucks at AI. Apple, believe it or not, they are nearing a 4 trillion. I didn't say million. I didn't say billion. I said 4 trillion dollar market valuation. And guess what? Guess what? With all due respect, and you know, when I say with all due respect, I can say whatever I want after that. With all due respect, Apple sucks at AI. Apple could not AI themselves out of a wet paper bag. For now, at least. For now. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, they can just say, you know what, I'm just going to buy this AI company, and now we become the best at AI. So it's just that easy for Apple and these major players, right? But right now, Apple has to hold that L in the AI market space. But they are nearing a $4 trillion market valuation. Where they do that at, right? So let's watch this. Let's jump into this together, right? So let me get this off the screen for now. All right, so Apple nears a $4 trillion market valuation. We're going to watch this video to hear about what is going on in the Apple world.
On the move today, we're also on Apple 4 trillion watch this morning for that milestone market cap. Steve Kovac has more.
Yeah, we're about $4 shy of that milestone there when they hit 4 trillion. It's up 1% right now. And look, this really came as we've seen so much momentum, guys, behind the iPhone 17. JPM is just the latest firm this morning to really jump on the bandwagon, increasing their price target to $290. That's just about 10 or 12% from Friday's closing price. And they're also saying get ready for some surprising upside in the December quarter guidance, saying it's going to be robust, saying to expect growth or top line revenue growth rather in the high single digits. They're also expecting that for the September quarter results. And it's all because of the same stuff we've been talking about since this rally really kicked into high gear about 10 days or so. It's iPhone 17, the base model, selling extremely well in China due to those Chinese subsidies. It's the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max selling well here in the United States. The iPhone Air not selling as well, but it really doesn't matter if those more high-end phones are taking up the share of that. And then this is all happening, guys, without any answer to artificial intelligence. Apple is kind of taking the year off after delaying its big AI update to Siri, and the market is kind of accepting that now that that is behind it, now that it's kind of mitigated the worst.
I told you, I said it first. Apple sucks. He said it a lot nicer than I did, right? But Apple sucks at AI. They got their fancy laptops, their fancy watches, their fancy goggles, but they have no AI. They have no AI.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But they are still running it up.
The tariffs after Tim Cook really smoothed things over with his relationship with President Trump. And so now we just look forward to earnings and seeing if they can actually deliver based on all these whispers and momentum we've been seeing in the sales data, guys.
Yeah, I did notice DA Davidson reiterated their neutral, Steve. They argued that it's a little bit too early to get good clarity on the iPhone cycle.
Yeah, that's also possible. But I mean, look, what people have been doing over the last month or so since the phones went on sale.
Do you remember when we reviewed, like, when Apple had their big announcements and we were looking at the what they were releasing, the AirPods the AirPods, they were pretty cool with they can do like the translation stuff, and I think they could do some not blood pressure. What heart rate monitoring? I don't know. It was either heart rate or blood pressure or something like, not blood. It can monitor something, right? Some health stuff. They had the watch that was going to be monitoring stuff. They showed the new iPhone, and they have the forward facing and the back facing camera recording at the same time. But then they also had this novel concept of this iPhone Air that costs, believe it or not, yeah, it costs like $1,000 cheaper than the iPhone 17. And it's like super thin, super flimsy, one camera. And now this guy over here is telling us that the iPhone Air isn't selling the best in the world. And from a non-iPhone user that I am, I use everything else Apple, but from this non-iPhone, which I do want to get me an iPad. But regardless, when I saw the iPhone Mini or iPhone Air, I was like, who's gonna want that? Why would someone in their right mind want an iPhone Air? And he's answering right now that I don't know who in their right mind would actually want this iPhone Air. That's what he's saying to us right now.
Carl, is looking at those lead times. So when you order your phone, it says, you'll get it in 10 days or 14 days. Those lead times continue to remain longer than they were a year ago. So that's where all the optimism is coming in, because that implies demand is higher than it was a year ago, all without artificial intelligence. So the read on this is we don't need to necessarily have a good AI story for Apple until the end of the year. We're going to get that next year. And in the meantime, it's the momentum excitement around the iPhone 17, the iPhone 18 next year with that foldable version, and then even a year beyond that, the 20th anniversary edition of the iPhone, which is also expected to be a new form factor and a bunch of new hardware features, guys.
Right.
Remember though, while Apple is hitting their $4 trillion valuation, the government is still shut down. Watch out for the looters and the robbers coming to a grocery store near you. And while they're robbing and stealing and looting, they will be streaming it to TikTok on their iPhone 17 Air. That is how the cookie crumbles. That's how the cookie crumbles. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me check the chat to see if there's anything in there, and then we'll get back into our
You said it was Mandy, but it's still the same. Words like bandages that don't stop the pain. I held your words like glass in my hands, sharp truths and smooth demands. You said you meant the cracks I see, but promises break so easily. I trusted the stars, but they all fell down. Every promise made just spins around. The truth feels fake, the lies too real. I'm caught in the loop, I can't unfeel.
I reach, but it slips away. Truths turn shadows in the light of day.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. You paint the sky with a perfect hue, a shade of trust that fades to blue. I step forward, fall right through. Your mirror's cracked and so are you.
Tell me, what's the game? Truth and lies, they sound the same. Every time I think I've won, I'm back where I begun.
I built my faith like a house of sand, each grain slipping through my open hand. Your confidence is a polished mask, hiding the answers I forgot to ask. I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. Is it me who's blind or you who lies? Is it hope or hurt that keeps me tied. I'm